We are halfway through the week. It's the Wednesday MLB Central. Glad to have all of you with us. Glad to have my guys, Robert Flores, Mark DeRosa. I'm Lauren Shahadi. It is the first edition of MLB Central. You ready for this? With a 50-year-old host. I'm talking about our guy, Roflo. Happy birthday, Robert.
Thank you. You know, the good folks at AARP sent me something in the mail like last week before my birthday. And I was like, how dare you? How dare you? And it just hit me. That's a big number, DeRo. Half to 100.
You don't look it though. I got to give you props on that. You know, there's certain birthdays. You hit 21, you got to go out, you become a man, right? And then there's certain different ones. Was 50? I need to know, was this like just another birthday, or we like had to take stock in who we are as an individual?
Yeah, I think you take stock. You kind of have a little pause for reflection and take a look in the mirror and I kind of liked who I was looking at.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that.
Flawless skin. DeRo and I ordered you a cookie cake. It will be there
Thank
today.
you. Thank you, guys.
Believe or make believe Robert is 50. I do not believe, but it calls for a little game. First, there's news out of Anaheim, gentlemen. Shohei Otani back on the mound for a sim game on Tuesday. 50 pitches, walked 6 wild pitches. Does this mean anything to you, DeRo? Had a similar spring in 2018.
I mean, it's definitely not, optimal. I'd like to see him find, because if he's around the plate, his stuff's exploding and he's going to get swing and misses on balls that look like strikes. But I'd like to bring in the voice of an angel, Keith Costas, because I remember when Shohei Otani showed up to spring training, we were so worried about him on the mound. Costi, do you have his numbers from that spring training?
Yeah, your memory checks out. 9 runs allowed on 3 homers in just 2 2/3 of an inning, 2 2/3 innings, and 4 for 32 at the plate. 10 strikeouts, no extra base hits. So naturally, cruised to Rookie of the Year.
Absolutely. And I think I watched him pitch against Oakland in the regular season. I think it might have been his first or second start, and he was literally unhittable. So Otani is the least of my concerns. The Angels as a collective are a concern for me.
Okay, which leads me to my first question of the day. Believe or make believe Otani will start a postseason game this year, Robert?
Yeah, that's make believe for me. I love the Angels offense, but man, that rotation beyond Otani, I has some question marks now. Julio Teheran, a very sturdy pitcher. Dylan Bundy, great stuff, but hasn't always been able to be consistent and consistently successful. So it's make believe for me.
Come on, Mike Trout, prime time, Anthony Rendon.
I love it.
I've played on teams like this in Texas. I really have, like where we mash. I mean, this lineup's going to mash, but the bottom line is, can you get a couple guys to pitch above their pay grade? You're asking a heck of a lot of Shohei Otani. We don't know how much Billy Epler and Joe Madden are going to use him, first off. So you're asking Heaney to pitch to a 1, Teheran to pitch. Tehran's been damn good for a lot of years, so I think he'll be okay. Bundy to pitch to a 1. You're asking guys to do a lot, and then the bullpen to pick up slack. And they're going to be playing the NL West and the AL West. There's some Oakland and Houston and the Dodgers and Arizona. They got a lot of work to get through that.
Lack of pitching depth is exposed over 162. I wonder how it will turn out over 60. We'll see that. Meanwhile, in the Bronx, Aaron Judge played right field in an inter-squad game, said afterward he is game ready. He's been saying that for quite some time. I asked you the other day how many home runs you would hit over the course of 60 games, DeRo. Aaron Judge hits 20. Believe or make believe? Go.
I'm gonna say make believe because I want to push him a little bit. I know he's watching us. I know he loves MLB Central. So I'm gonna say make believe. I'm really want to dive into the psychology of these superstar players playing with no fans and the impact that it potentially could have both negatively and positively. Certain guys are gonna really be able to focus. You could see it in golf. I've been watching a lot of golf. And you see the guys that enjoy not interacting with fans really lock in, and the guys that almost miss that like mythical like attention. So I think he's one of those guys that eats up people being in the stands. I'm gonna say make believe.
I would think a lot of the players on the Yankees would eat up the fans.
I'm going to say make believe as well. Costi was telling me last year in the first 60 games, there were only 3 players that hit 20 home runs: Pete Alonso, Cody Bellinger, and Christian Yelich. So obviously very small, under unusual circumstances, as you said, DeRo. So it's make believe for me.
I just can't imagine
hey, Lauren.
that whole lineup hits at the same time. Stanton and just going to be awesome. It's going to be a spectacle.
You said his name. I'd like Giancarlo Stanton to get it going in pinstripes. Let him hit the 20 homers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Got to have some humor these days. Francisco Lindor, you see this? Played a prank on his manager, gave him hand sanitizer, and not so much. Inside, it was pine tar. He was like, what the? Francona will be managing Francisco Lindor through the 2020 season. Believe or make believe? I thought believe right away because I didn't know how many transactions would happen.
Right.
Are you on the same page? Yes?
I'm going to say believe this too. I think, Robert used a word with my internet called wonky. I think the season's going to be a little wonky. I don't know how a team is who's going to give up a ton of prospects at what time, at what point.
At the end, right when they're ready to win. And then Francisco Lindor in the lineup. Let's get him.
I agree with you. And a guy like Brody Van Wagenen might be able to pull that off. But I think Cleveland's going to be in the cut. I think they're going to be in a fight to the bitter end. And I don't think you're going to let him walk away in 60 games.
Yeah, I feel the same way. As you said, Lauren, it's just going to be so – there's going to be so many things that front office personnel and team executives and players have to concern themselves with. And I feel like trading a franchise signature player, it's going to be way, way, way down on the list.
You mentioned Brody Van Wagenen. Hey, Mets fans, see your guy Cespedes crushing home runs, running the bases. Believe or make believe he will play in 50 games this year. It's almost been 2 years since he played in a game. Believe or make believe. Contract year, by the way.
If I believe this, the Mets are going to fight for a World Series. Because if he's right at 50 games and he's DHing with Polar Bear Pete Alonso and Robinson Cano catches fire with that rotation, we've said it time and time again. Mets might be one of the teams I'm jumping on this year. So
I kind of agree with you.
I'm going to believe this. I hope he's healthy for 50 games because it'll be awesome.
Robert,
I'm going to believe this. And we're getting back to 20 homers over 60 games. Keith says Cespedes had a career high stretch in homers over a 60-game stretch with 24. That was from July to September in 2015 with the Mets. I love the fact that he can DH, get him off his feet. We know he has terrible feet right now. So, yeah, I could see him playing 50 games. Absolutely.
So what do we think about baseball players? That they live the life of luxury. Kyle Seager came out recently and said, I've been socially distancing for a long, long time. I have no internet. You heard me, gentlemen, in my home. It made me love him even more. What do you mean? Yeah, you're shaking your head. No Grubhub delivery, no Uber, nothing. Believe or make believe, Robert and Mark Tomsterosa could live 1 week and would enjoy their life.
No.
Without internet.
I would not enjoy my life. No.
Stop it. Robert, you're truthful. And DeRo, I've never known you to tell a lie. And I feel like you're telling one now.
No, I could be without it. A matter of fact, I find myself just like, it's part of my day. It's become a habit now. I am just locked in on Twitter. I'm done with Instagram. Half that is complete fake. I mean, the whole world can't be going that great right now in these times. But for me, Twitter, it can be mean. So it kind of hurts to read.
Really?
What do you say about Twitter, Robert?
That it's an awful, awful place.
But I get so much info from it. But I could go without it all for a week.
You can't order your meatball parmesan and get it delivered to your house. Nothing.
I'll be on a sandy beach listening to somebody pick a guitar with a fishing pole in the water, and I'll be drinking a little drink with it. I'm good for a week.
And Robert will be miserable.
I gotta stay connected. There's a lot of, all these videos of dogs doing cool things and cat videos. And then,
Karens, and now
oh,
Karens. Oh, geez.
all right, we probably should end it now.
We should end it a long ago. Kyle Seeger has not seen our video, our MLB Central videos on the internet, but he is in luck. We will be on the tube starting July 23rd on MLB.
Back in studio. Let's go.
Back in studio on the Crush Red Velvet distanced. So we can't wait to see you then and bring you Central 3 hours a day. Gentlemen, have a wonderful day. Take care and we'll see you soon.